Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Lawyer Interviews. I am your host, Jeff Dillon. This is Lawyer Interviews, your source of legal gossip, professional insights, and updates. So, with us today, we have Matt Buser. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you back. Matt is a practicing attorney and specializing in entertainment law. Matt, why don't you give us a quick background on your expertise?
Sure. Most of my expertise and most of my experience resides in the music industry, but also in other fields of entertainment, including influencer representation, fashion, film and TV, fine art. I do a little bit of work in the professional sports space, and then a little bit of work in the NFT crypto space when the market allows. And I handle corporate formation and governance, contracts, and brand protection by way of federal trademark and copyright.
All right. So, very comprehensive experience, and we're very lucky to have Matt here. Specific topic for today, we're talking about the popular video game streamer Adin Ross. He initially gained his fame through streaming different types of games like NBA 2K on the platform Twitch, and then had kind of a roller coaster of a relationship with that platform, getting temporarily banned here and there, and then most recently permanently banned. So first, I want to ask you, I mean, might be clear, but does Twitch have the right to just ban people from their platforms?
A lot of topics have been coming up recently, especially with some of the congressional passed bills allowing President Biden to stop TikTok because of the back end and their ability to capture personal data, and as specific as like what apps are on your phone unrelated to TikTok. And and I use that as an example since it's super relevant, but here, I mean, when you go on a site and you agree to be a member, or you agree to be a constituent or whatever you call it, you're also agreeing to be bound by the terms and conditions. And a lot of times, or all the time really, it'll say in fine printing, we have the right to update these terms and conditions without notice to you. So you have an obligation to check back. So he is bound by these, and if he violates them, then unilaterally they can suspend him.
That makes a lot of sense. So now Aiden is considering and has made it very public about a transition to a competing platform like Kick. What do we know about his transition there? What do we know about this streaming service Kick?
Well, we know that it's a competitor. We also know that they put it out there that they pay creators a lot higher, that they say that as compared to their rivals, they pay up to 45% more, actually, which is a pretty significant increase in revenue. It's what from my reading and understanding, and I'm not a Twitch streamer, I'm not much of a video gamer personally, but
yeah,
I do know a little bit about the space, and from my reading, it's been made pretty clear that the majority of the deals with Twitch are around the 50-50 range as a revenue split with their creators. And from what I've seen about Kick, they're promising a more of a 95-5 split. So it's a significant increase. And as far as his ability to move, it doesn't seem like he's had any contractual relationship with Twitch that would prevent that. Otherwise, that would have been raised.
It would be surprising that Twitch had some kind of hold on him and booting him off of their platform. That would be right. Very interesting. But for
which
Kick,
they would possibly have the rights to do. And
correct.
if that is what is best, and their shareholders or their board decides that it's in the best interest of the company to maintain brand integrity, then they can do so.
They can kick him, and it's in their interest to not have him go benefit a competitor.
Correct.
Right. But let's assume no such deal is in place. And right. Now we're working with Kick. It's been reported that he signed a 2-year deal for many millions of dollars to work with Kick. And then he said later on, but to be an exclusive streamer of Kick, I would need a lot more money. So I just want to break that down first. He already signed something with them, but they're not exclusive. So what kind of agreement do you think exactly is in place right now?
I think it's more of a services-based model where he has certain minimum times that he has to be on at a certain time, or at least logging certain amounts of hours on a weekly basis. He may also have some posting related obligations outside of just being on and live and streaming, that he's promoting, hey, you need to post on your story that you're going to appear on time, and we want a couple static feed posts that exist during the term of our engagement. And I think that's probably how they have that structured.
Got it. So for him to go now to go exclusive or to demand more money, if you were, let's pretend, Matt, you are representing Adin. What are you bringing to the table? What are you asking for Kick to arrange for this type of exclusive deal? What are you looking for?
Yeah, so I mean, we would like some other ancillary benefits of this as well, because by virtue of him dedicating all of his services to the platform, he's arguably building the platform, and Kick is somewhat new. And so as a result of him joining, there will be a ripple effect seen. And because of that, it's not quantifiable for us to put in dollars and cents in an agreement that, maybe if there's like some referral based fee, but even still, that doesn't encompass any secondary, tertiary, and thereon effects of him moving to this platform and dedicating all of his time there. So some of the stuff that I would be looking for a stake in the company. And I would also be looking for some kind of final approvals over my creative control. I would like to have specific terms and conditions related to my client's usage that are specific to him, that we
Yeah.
avoid any issues that he's encountered in the past with others. And I would value the deal based on that original services model that we structured, that he's currently in. And then I would apply a multiplier to that.
Mm.
You say this would be our exclusivity, our buyout almost.
Right. And I'm wondering, it must be a big risk for Adin Ross, first, before he was permanently removed from Twitch. But even so after that, this is a brand new platform. So there's definitely a lot of, and he has a built-in following. So I'm assuming there's a lot of leverage on Adin's side to broker this type of deal.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what his suspension status with Twitch is currently, which it's, I've seen from third-party sources that he is permanently suspended, but I don't know the veracity of that. But, assuming that he is, then the Kick seems like a very good, viable option for him to look at now. But there's going to be other streaming platforms, and due to his power, he could arguably start his own streaming platform and probably do pretty well himself.
That would be an interesting, I can imagine in the negotiations being like, well, why don't I just start my own platform if you're not going to give me a better deal? I mean,
well, going back to the opportunity cost, I mean, that's what he's
yep.
going to have to take into account, because how much does it cost to actually set up this platform and have the servers be able to handle this level of activity, but then, versus how much he's going to get paid to be exclusive on a platform like Kick.
Got it. Now, on the other side, though, so he has all this power because he has a big following. I imagine getting suspended, all his other, controversial statements, there's probably some leverage on the side of Kick as well now, especially after a week later where they're like, you don't even have another platform you can go on right now. So how would how would you analyze that weakness from Adin Ross's side now?
I would minimize it fairly easily, to be honest with you. Because
And if you were on Kick's side?
No, if I was on Aiden's side.
Well, yeah, no, I'm curious from Kick's side, how would you attack it? I'm making you switch hats
okay,
back
all
and
right.
forth.
I'm switching sides. I'm switching sides.
No,
all right,
you
I'm
gotta
trying to
think
land
quick.
Aiden as a client here, man. Like,
I want you everyone's
so,
client.
so
I want you
put
everyone.
my other hat on, my corporate
Yep.
hat real fast. Look, I would say that we have brand integrity, and that these are the kinds of demographics to which we're catering, and your target audience, whether or not you intend that to be the target, is ages X to Y. And for those reasons, we need you to conform to our stipulations here. I would also say, hey, yes, you could go start something, but here's what we have right now. And we're willing to put, you mentioned, many millions. I think it was many hundreds of millions. And so if you're willing to have that kind of, if they have that kind of money, that means that the platform and its backers are successful, and they see the value in him. So I would just say, look, we recognize your value, but we also want you to play ball with us. And we want this to be the most prosperous and profitable for all of us. And if it gets to the point where there's hate speech or whatever, pornography, the couple things that have allegedly arisen, then I would say, look, like that's not something that we could ever tolerate, even if we gave you somewhat free range. And that's what Mr. Ross seems to be saying, by the way, publicly, is that Kick is giving me unfettered ability to do what I want. and I'm not quite sure that that's accurate. But you know, again, I would try to make sure that he conforms to expectations.
Right. Well, from sources on the internet, which who knows what's true or
Right.
whatever, but apparently, Kick's model is, as opposed to Twitch, is to be more lenient and allow and not have, ambiguous bans and moderations of free speech. So there might be a limit to what Kick can even do to say that we're gonna, you got to play ball with us because that's how they're bringing in this talent in addition. So it kind of
I mean,
cuts
there's
both
also an
ways.
argument to be made that somebody else commenting on his chat that's appearing on streaming is within zero control of his.
Right. Yes. Well, some of the things that we've seen Adin has been saying has come from his own his own mouth, but it is true also. Yeah, there's that risk
Right.
of a chat room that you have no control over and whatever you're inciting. Going back to you being having Adin Ross as a client, and he's
Mhm.
likely to be saying things like, "Oh, they better pay me more." Is that a negotiation tactic to shout that out to the world, or is he just unhinged?
I mean, look, all press is press, right?
Yep.
So, you know, I think that he has such a strong following, and he's so controversial that he has that divisive side to him, and I think that that's helpful sometimes. I mean, I would say, hey, look, my client is not shy, and he's very publicly made clear that I'm not going to get this deal done for less than this. I personally don't call the shots. I represent my client. This is his decision. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
play ball here, if you guys want to be at the table with us, then
Yeah.
I would take what he's saying seriously.
Got it. Yeah, no, it makes sense. And, without bringing up names, obviously, you obviously have a lot of experience with big personalities, people who are influencers and looking for this. How do you manage clients that might be shooting themselves in the foot by saying things publicly? Do you advise on those types of things?
Yeah, often. You know, we do our best as counselors to advise and guide. But at the end of the day, the individual has the right to act however he or she sees fit or they see fit. And it's unfortunate, you know. I mean, we've seen a lot of that with Kanye and, you know, with his falling out amongst his various business partners. And, you know, some say that it might be calculated. There's even rumblings of him and Adidas making amends, and, you know, that like he fired lawyers through tweets and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, we do what we can, and we really try to work with the right humans so that we can mitigate that as best as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I understood. You can't control it. You can't control
Right.
what other people do. Okay, yeah. Well, Matt, thank you so much. This was
You're
really
so welcome.
really interesting, and it's helpful to get the expert side of things. So
Yes.
as celebrities continue to do interesting things, we hope to keep on calling on you. So
Absolutely. Please do.
really, yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thanks for watching,
Thank you
everyone.
guys.